Yeah, I give it to the Lakers. Kobe and Shaq. It's a wrap, guys. We should end this whole discussion right now and not even talk about what the best LA team is. I just said the best team, so I'm sorry. It's a wrap.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Tea Time with Tommy, minus my tea. It's been a very rough day. I am your moderator, Paula, with our hosts, Norbz and Tommy. So we're going to do a little bit of a different episode this time, considering Tommy and I are off to LA for a movie premiere that Tommy is the main character of the show. And so I figured we'd chip off of that and talk a little bit about LA sports teams and the greatest or your favorite sports team of all time in LA. Norbz, I'll let you hit this one off.
Well, to start off, let's talk about some baseball in this segment.
Boring.
Yeah, I'm a very passionate baseball guy. I love baseball history, old school stuff about baseball. So why don't we talk about the 1988 Los Angeles Dodgers? I know some of you were not born yet. I was only about 7 years old.
Paul wasn't even born.
I definitely wasn't.
1988, fun times. I was 7 years old. I was, in elementary school, still learning my ABCs and my 1, 2, 4s. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. And this is actually my most favorite Dodgers team of all time in 1988. The Los Angeles Dodgers had a great team then. They were 94-67, and took the division from the Reds and won the World Series that year in 1988. And one of the key moments in that 1988 World Series was Kirk Gibson's Hollywood script type home run, game-winning home run off Dennis Eckersley in Game 1 of that World Series. It's been overplayed in MLB Network and all history MLB clips. Many times. It's the most one of the most historic home runs in Dodgers history. Kirk Gibson, Game 1 of that World Series. It was a Hollywood ending feel. And the Dodgers went off on a tear in that World Series and won 4-1 over the Oakland A's, another powerhouse team in California. So Tommy Lasorda was the manager of that team, and Orel Hershiser, Kirk Gibson, Fernando Valenzuela, all those guys really made history in 1988. So that, I think, is one of the best teams I've ever seen play baseball in 1988.
Well,
1988, sorry.
Listen to Norb's ridiculous take of his favorite LA team. None of us hardly born. Only Norbs and I were alive at that time. And Kirk Gibson's Hollywood thing is a little too much, and it's only for Hollywood. It's ridiculous. Like, yeah, he had a home run. He was doing this, but come on, give me a break. I got the better LA team, guys. Okay, look at this. 2001 LA Lakers, Kobe and Shaq. Who can argue with that? Arguably two of the most dominant players in NBA history to play together, maybe in sports history. The Diesel at center, the great Kobe Bryant, of course, KB24 at shooting guard. It was a wrap. Let me just say the stats for this one. As Norbz gave his stats, 56-26.683 winning percentage, first in the division, the Pacific, second in the Western Conference, lost only one game in the whole playoffs. That was to the Sixers. Sixers took them to 2 overtimes, I believe. Of course, that amazing shot by Iverson, we stepped over Tyronn Lue. I remember that one, but that was the only loss the Lakers had. Dominant all the way. No one can compare. They were 1 and 2 in the league. Probably the only time the best player and the second best player in the league were on the same team. Yeah, I give it to the Lakers. Kobe and Shaq. It's a wrap, guys. We should end this whole discussion right now and not even talk about what the best LA team is. I just said the best team, so I'm sorry. It's a wrap.
I mean, to piggyback off that, I'm definitely in the line of LA Lakers just because I don't know baseball too well. And I don't even think that LA has a hockey team because that's just not a thing over there. But I'd probably go with like 2009, 2010, LA Lakers, Boston Celtics, I don't know the stats. Don't ask me, but we'll just put it out there just because Kobe was on the team.
Because
and they
Kobe
did
was on
well.
the team. Yes, everyone's favorite.
That's it.
R.I.P.
That's
the
it.
great Kobe.
Yeah, R.I.P. What a legend. My goodness. Mama forever.
Yes. See, two people to one. The Lakers. My co-host here talk about the Lakers because they love basketball so much, and it's
The
two
best
against one
sport.
against baseball. So
Boring
anyway,
baseball.
yeah,
What do
it's
we-
the Lakers all the way.
Okay, so guys, we picked our team, so I gotta go. Which out of the three teams do we think is the best? You have the 88 Dodgers, you got the 2001 Lakers, and of course Paula's 2010 pick of Kobe Bryant's team. What do you guys think? Like, yeah, one of you, whoever wants, Norbz, what do you think? Well, let's not be biased. What do you think?
I feel that the LA Lakers in the 2001 season.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's the Lakers really dominated in that era, in that decade. They had so many talented players. I mean, Rick Fox was in the team. Am I correct? And Shaq and Kobe. I mean, they really dominated the league. And I've watched some of those finals with family, and because most of them are Lakers fans anyway, so they really enjoyed those times. And the team chemistry that the Lakers had back then compared to this current Lakers team in 2022 was just solid. Like they really, Shaq and Kobe had, an up and down relationship, but they kept it together in that team. So I feel that they're one of the most dominant teams in Lakers history. I mean, there's also the 80s Lakers as well, but the 2000s edition of the Lakers was just as solid, just as dominant. Phil Jackson really kept the ship together. Kudos to that team, and God bless Kobe.
All right, thanks for taking up most of the time again, Norbz, as usual.
That was only 20 seconds, man.
Paula, go ahead. Paula, go ahead.
I counted 20 seconds.
Paula, go ahead. What do you think?
I mean, Tommy, you do know a lot more than I do, so then I would technically say the same thing. However, the only reason why I'm into the whole Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers is because the Celtics are in the playoffs right now. So, I mean, a little bit of nostalgia happening, and that's kind of why I was reminded of that game.
Yeah, guys, you know what? Out of our three teams, okay, maybe I'll go with the 2001 Lakers too, not being biased, but let's go outside of that. Like, I missed a couple. Like, you got the 87 Lakers with Kareem and Magic. They were devastating together, that team. You got the 72 Lakers. They had the best record until I think Golden State beat that. I mean, Chicago Bulls of 96 beat that record.
I'm raising my hand.
Yeah, go.
Since we're going off on the teams that we think are the greatest and that we like the most, what are we thinking about the teams that we don't like? Like, what's happening to the LA Clippers? Like, when did that get installed?
Because Kawhi's a fool and he left Toronto. Simple. He
I needed some
Paul
controversy.
George over Pascal Siakam.
I think the ownership too had something to do with it. Like, I mean,
Mr. Crazy Bomber. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the ownership kind of let the Clippers down a little bit there. I mean, they tried to revive the team, putting together Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in that, but they just couldn't. I mean, this in the season in 2022, like they were a little bit better than the Lakers because the Lakers just floundered midway into the season, but the Clippers kind of kept it together. Like they were like in the hunt for a playoff position, but there are just other teams out there that want to take them away from the picture. So yeah, the Clippers have tried to revive over the years. I mean, they led 3-1 and blew it at one point. So, I mean, it's. They're still working on it together. Let's hope that they can get back on track next season.
No.
Tommy,
yeah,
how have they played?
I think so.
How have they played historically, Tommy? Let's
The
say
Clippers?
in relation to the Lakers, like how have the Clippers played?
Awful, horrendous.
Consistently.
They have never been consistent. Like, they had that one chance with CP3 and Lob City that blew up into dust. And now they got this disaster of a duo who's always injured, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And I will always say Kawhi Leonard made a mistake leaving us, leaving Canada and Toronto. Big mistake, Mr. Claw. So
and they're gonna get a new arena like very soon. So they're gonna be out of the Staples Center or whatever the heck they call it now.
So what? They can't win, Norbz.
.com arena.
What's the point?
They're gonna be moving to a new arena and like
a new arena. The players that can't play on their team
in Inglewood, wherever it is now.
Yeah, Inglewood. Where the old
they suck because of their arena.
It's because the old Lakers.
Yeah, because
right? So
they
they're still
share
living under the Lakers shadow.
They share an arena with the Lakers. Like that's already a problem. You don't ever share an arena with someone else. Like you have to have your own. I mean, like the Warriors have their own new arena now. Look where they at. Like they became a better team. They were a good team like in the past, but they had that down year and then they're back up again. So the Clippers can pretty much do the same thing when they move to their brand new state of the art arena.
They need another superstar if they want to win the title. Like, I mean, Kevin Durant or Giannis or Luka, they can't. They're done. They're not going anywhere.
And they've injured too. They've some of the players have been injured as well for the Clippers. So it is what it is.
Maybe they just need to go meditate in Vietnam. Who fucking knows?
We're not going back to that again.
Beep that,
more manifestations, Paula.
Pardon my French.
They gotta do a dose of eat, pray, love, travel around the world.
No, we're not going to this again. We're not doing this again.
Go to India. Go to Indonesia.
Paula and I definitely need
join in
meditation
some
this week.
temple meditation. Yeah,
manifest meditation.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Awesome. Well, anything to wrap up this discussion, friends?
No,
baseball rules, Tom.
No, baseball boring, and Kawhi made a mistake.
All right, 2 takeaways. Baseball is boring, and Kawhi made a mistake, and the LA Lakers.
Yes.
Awesome.
And the phone's ringing. Great. Yeah. All right,
friends. Well, it's time to wrap up this episode. Just a little disclaimer that Tommy and I won't be back for at least another 2-3 weeks after our trip from LA. So we'll be back when we're back. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. Norbz, Tommy. Yo.
See you guys again soon.
See ya. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe below to Tea Time with Tommy Raptors Basketball, or else Tommy will be very sad. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe below.